Julie Rohr McHugh was born on July 11, 1946, in Concord, North Carolina. Her parents, Arthur and Julia Rohr, were both musicians.
Julie, growing up, was quite a girl. She loved everything. I mean, it didn't matter what it was, but I made her especially go into music because I felt that's something that she would love to do.
I was very fortunate when I was a young child. I used to love to go to the Players Theater. It was the only community theater. It was the only thing in town at that point. And I used to love to go to see their shows. When they had auditions for Bye Bye Birdie, I dragged one of my friends to the auditions, and I got the part of Kim, and she got the part of Ursula, Kim's best friend. So for the next 8 weeks, we went to rehearsals there, and we also spent 2 weeks in performances there, at the same time that we were both starring in the Riverview High School production of Brigadoon.
After graduating high school as a member of the National Honor Society, Julie was accepted at the University of Miami on a violin scholarship. It was at this point that Julie would meet Glenn Draper, the director of choral music at the University of Miami.
So I asked her one question: Julie, what do you want to do in life? 2.5 hours later, I got to the second question. Julie was very vivacious, talkative, and so forth, and she never lacks for words to say. She immediately joined the singing Hurricanes. In 1965, the group sang on the Ed Sullivan Show in Miami, Florida. It was always a pleasure to say the Singing Hurricanes featuring Julie Rohr.
Julie's life took an exciting turn in 1968 when, while studying for a master's degree, she met her future husband, Mike McHugh.
I took a course in special ed in order to gather more information to write my thesis. And he was in the class, and he was the graduate assistant for the professor in the class.
I thought Julie was certainly very attractive. I was a typical 22-year-old, college student, looking at the girls in the class. She approached me and asked if I would be willing to review her thesis with her and kind of go over it to see if maybe I could give her some feedback on what this particular professor might be looking for. And I told her I was sure we could work something out, and I would be happy to help her with that.
In 1969, after Julie graduated with a master's degree in music from the University of Miami, she and Mike were married.
We had 5 children, 4 boys and a daughter. Our daughter was our baby. She died from leukemia when she was 3. So we were very nervous about having another child. We were afraid that there could be a problem. She actually had Down syndrome as well, and so we were very nervous, and so we decided to adopt. So we adopted Mitchell, who has been just the light of our lives, and when he was 6, he was also diagnosed with leukemia.
It was just amazing to see, Mitchell, who's this very kind of outgoing, gregarious child, and kind of how quickly his health turned. I'm not a huge believer in fate, but, I think that there's probably a reason that it was my mom there to take care of it.
Of course, one thing that is so important to Julianne is her family.
Julie's parents, Julia and Arthur, were still living in Sarasota and missed not having the family around. But they had a solution.
They called me up one day and they said, "Guess what I bought for you?" I was very excited. I thought maybe a new dress or something, and they said, "We bought a school." I said, "A school? Where is the school?" "It's in Sarasota." So, of course, it was very obvious to see where that was leading.
I wanted to get Julie involved in the academy because I wanted my daughter to live close to me.
The saying, I think, that was popularized by First Lady Hillary Clinton was, "It takes a village to raise a child." Julie embodies that philosophy, and Julie Rohr Academy was that village.
My mom is definitely the most special person in my life. If it wasn't for her, I would never be able to give this awesome interview for her. I love her. I would do anything for her, no matter what it was, no matter when it was, no matter where it was.
Lay to rest your fears, my dearest friend.